is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
15 years ago, the Oakland A's authored the longest Major League Baseball winning streak in over half a century. Tonight, the Cleveland Indians can equal that mark of 20 wins in a row. The Tribe streak is already the most dominant in history, outscoring their opponents by a combined 100 runs. Nothing has been able to derail this runaway train. They have conquered an 11-game road trip, swept back-to-back doubleheaders. They have overcome injuries and even sidestepped Mother Nature herself. Now, Corey Kluber's stoic stare eyes an incredible 20th straight win. Next on Sports Time Ohio. Tonight's Indians-Tigers game is presented by Hankook Tires. And it will be an absolutely perfect night for baseball here at Progressive Field, where last night the statue of Bob Feller, who wore number 19, watched the Indians reel off their 19th consecutive victory. And now tonight, a date with destiny as the Tribe goes for 20 in a row. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Throughout this streak, we've thrown a lot of stats at you, a lot of numbers. Each one seems to be more impressive than the last. But something that has resonated with me throughout this streak and throughout the entire season is the fact that when they get the lead after just 2 innings, this ball club is 49-7 on the season. And that's what they've done throughout the streak. Get the lead early, turn it over to a great pitching staff, and let them roll.
Well, and you go back to game number 1 in this streak. They beat Chris Sale and the Boston Red Sox to even the series up at 2-2 in that 4-game series. And it was a great win. Trevor Bauer was on the mound. He got the win. The day before, Corey Kluber got the loss. But they've been doing the same thing since that game. They've been scoring early. They've been scoring later. They've added on. They've outscored their opposition by 100 runs in there. The starting pitching has been outstanding, and also the defense has come into play many times in this streak.
You mentioned Corey Kluber, who has put himself obviously right there at the top of the Cy Young race, along with Chris Sale. Corey Kluber was the winning pitcher on the first game of the last road trip, and he was the winning pitcher on the last game of that road trip, so it's kind of fitting that he gets the opportunity to pitch him to a 20th straight win tonight.
You know, and he has his highest ERA against the Tigers this year of any other ball club, but Corey Kluber is so consistent. He goes out there with changeups to left-handers, his breaking ball one of the best in the business, and of course he's looking at another Cy Young. You would not want anybody else on the mound besides Kluber. As you look at his stats this year, 3rd in wins, 1st in ERA, opposition hitting just 192. This guy goes out there and it looks like he's throwing a wiffle ball, and sometimes I believe he is.
Well, we'll be back with tonight's play-by-play, plus we've got the big story. Alan Jensen will talk about the Oakland A's 20-game win streak that occurred 15 years ago. And Scott Hatteberg, who had a big hit for that ball club, said of the Indian streak, there's nothing fluky about what the Cleveland Indians are doing right now. Andre Knott will also have the latest from the Tribe's clubhouse straight ahead. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Nature Stone, the only concrete solution.
Number 20 are the Cleveland Indians here at Progressive Field with their ace Corey Kluber on the hill. There's Tito. Boy, what a job he's done as the skipper of this club since he came here in 2013. Welcome back to center field. Along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski. Pleasure to have you along for tonight's game as well. For the big story tonight, we're going to go back 15 years to the Oakland A's and their 20th consecutive win. And that night, it was Scott Hattieberg who walked it off in Oakland on September 4th.
And this is when the A's had an 11-0 lead through the first 3 innings. Kansas City bounced back to tie it in the 9th, and that's your walk-off winner. Oddly enough, former Indian Paul Byrd was the starter for Kansas City in that game, opposed by Tim Hudson. But Hattieberg with the big blow. Hey, it's never over until it's over. I know it's cliche, but man, you get Kluber, those 4 runs, this one could be over in a hurry.
Who knows what tonight's game will bring, but we know one thing. It's been entertaining watching the Cleveland Indians of late. Let's go upstairs for the men that'll call it tonight. Here are Matt Underwood and Rick Manning. Fellas.
Thanks, Al and Jensen. As you guys both know, and Arch and Andre, baseball players, coaches, managers don't like to talk about streaks, whether it's a hitting streak, having a lot of run streak, a win streak. They like to skirt around the edges, don't want to really meet it head on. And Tito's done a good job of making sure this team is focused on showing up today and playing today's game and not worrying about anything else. With more on that story, let's go downstairs to Andre Nutt.
Well, Matt, you're exactly right. No one likes talking streaks. They don't even want to bring the streak up. But one thing I had to find out is about chemistry. We all talk about it, but we try to figure out how it comes about. I sat down with Dan Otero to talk about how the Indians' chemistry came together and why it works in tonight's Hear Right Sounds of the Game.
It honestly starts at the top with Tito in our front office. They preach from day one, to play as a team, play as a unit, and I think we genuinely do care about each other. And I would say we have 39 guys in here right now, and I think the goal of all 39 guys is a W at the end of the day. And I know it sounds cliche, and probably a lot of teams say that, but I genuinely believe that in here. So it's kind of easy when everybody's common goal is the same. You play for each other, and you want everybody to do well, and you see it right now with how much fun our infield's having. I don't know if the fans see it or the media sees it, but our infield right now is having so much fun. It's fun to watch. Whoever's starting the game, and then you usually have Gio coming in and closing. I call him Mariano Rivera because he's catching up to him in saves right now. He's got a long way to go, but they just have so much fun playing, and it's fun to be a part of. And you don't want to let your teammates down, and I think that's the biggest part.
And I think that's also exemplified by what we're seeing right now with Jason Kipnis trying to move out to center field. He sees what's going on. How can I help the team rather than put himself first? He puts team first, and that really is exemplified throughout this entire ball club.
Well, it's been that way for a long time in this club, and that's the one thing that people miss. But it's a shame it's taken a 19-game streak for them to realize that this team really is that way. That's the way they play the game, and they're going to continue to do it that way. Let's take a look at our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for the Indians. It's going to be Corey Kluber making his 26th start this year. Kluber 15-4, leads the league in ERA at .256. And on the year, he's just been unbelievable since coming off the disabled list. He is 2-1 in his 4 starts against Detroit this year, but his ERA is .524. So that's one team that has hit Corey, but he beat them the last time. He went 8 innings, gave up 8 hits, and allowed just 1 run.
The Detroit Tigers starting lineup for Brad Ausmus, brought to us by Hankook Tires. Ian Kinsler in the leadoff spot. Alex Presley batting second. Miguel Cabrera hitless last night. Just 9 for 50 this year against Indians pitching. Nick Castellanos leads the league in triples. Jamer Candelario, Tyler Collins, then Brian Holiday. Efren Navarro will DH. Andrew Romine is at shortstop batting ninth.
Let's take a look at the Indians defense, brought to you by Ram. It's the league leading defense. It made only 66 errors. And from left to right, it's going to be Geyer, Jackson, and Bruce. On the infield from third to first, it'll be Diaz, Lindor, Ramirez, and Santana. And Gomes is going to be doing the catching as always with Kluber on the mound.
Scott Berry will call the balls and strikes. Quinn Walcott is your first base umpire. Brian Onora at second, and Paul Emmel, the crew chief, will be down at third base. And with that, we are ready to go on a 70-degree overcast evening in downtown Cleveland. Just a light breeze. What we do have appears to be blowing in. Might knock the ball down a little bit on fly balls hit to center field, but for the most part, doesn't look like it'll be much of a factor, at least here at the outset. The Tigers have lost 3 straight. 9 of their last 11. The Indians, as we all know, have won 19 in a row and 28 of their last 32. First pitch of the night is a fastball strike from Corey Kluber.
Kluber's last start in Chicago, he went 7 innings, but remember they scored 4 runs in the first inning. He ended up giving up 2 home runs back in the first inning, back to the White Sox.
Kinsler swings and bangs one just inside the bag down the right field line. Jay Bruce going to dig it out. He's got a strong arm. He'll throw to second, but Kinsler is in there easily with a leadoff double.
A lot of these teams against Kluber, especially in the division, they look for that first fastball they get to. It was a little two-seamer, got a little too much of the plate. Kinsler stayed right on it, drives it down the line. He will cruise into second base with his 22nd double and a good start for Detroit.
That will bring up Alex Presley. Left-handed hitter, had a pair of hits last night.
Presley had a game against Kluber back in Detroit where I believe he had 4 hits. Off Corey.
He bunts. Diaz will go to first to get the out, and a great job to scoop it by Santana. Presley with the sacrifice moves Kinsler to third. 1 out here in the first inning.
Does a nice job to get the ball down. You force him to field it. The only play would be first base. Short throw, but Santana picks it. They get out number 1.
Santana has done a tremendous job of working to make himself a top-notch defender at first, and that has not been lost on his coaches and teammates. They've seen the work that he's put in. Well, now Miguel Cabrera with an opportunity to put Detroit on the board first.
You know, Cabrera, a guy that has great numbers against Kluber. 23 for 53 in his career. That's a .434 average. He has homered 6 times, driven in 12.
Infield plays back. Up and away, 2-0. Not that Kluber is necessarily going to just put Cabrera on base, but you don't have to pitch to him in this situation. Not that Nick Castellanos is any slouch. He's on deck. High fly ball.
He got in on him.
It's in the foul ground, and it's going to be not able to be caught by Santana. He reached in, almost got the handle on it. I think had he caught it, he would not have been able to make a play on Kinsler, though.
Not reaching into the seats, I don't think he would have. If he's on the field and he's flat-footed, maybe. He peeks to where the stands are. He gets over there, and it's about 2 rows back in.
Yeah, that guy with the phone was trying to catch it.
Well, drop your phone and catch the ball in.
Might have smashed the screen as it is.
Oh, well.
2-1 count, and Kluber straightens him up. Good fastball, 4-seamer.
Yeah, didn't give him any breathing room when he had him down, or he was behind in the count 2-0. Went inside and followed it back up.
Just underway. Tigers batting top of the first. Runner at third, 1 out. And Kluber's 3-1 pitch is a swing and a miss. Good cut fastball over the outside edge, just off the plate, and a full count. This is where Miguel Cabrera maybe expanding his strike zone, knowing full well that the Tigers have been struggling, in particular against the Indians. They've lost 9 of their last 10 games against Cleveland. And now Kluber's payoff pitch went right back out there and locked him up. That was a four-seam fastball that had some serious run back over the outside corner. Cabrera can't believe it, and there are 2 down in the first.
Well, let's take a look at the sequence to Cabrera. He's going to fall behind early. Missed with a slider down and away, ball 1. That's a little cutter he got underneath. Challenged him with a fastball there. He popped it up and he moves him back off the plate. Good cutter on a 3-1 pitch, and he come back fastball that gets the outside edge. Sometimes you don't get that call, but that one he did. He made a perfect pitch, and Cabrera can't believe it.
Now Nick Castellanos with a runner at third and 2 down. And it's a little bit outside, ball 1. Castellanos, 21 homers, 85 driven in. He has 28 doubles and a league-leading 10 triples. Swung on and missed. And it's 1-1. We have seen over the years Comerica Park, if you can hit the ball in the gaps, it is a triples haven. And Castellanos has certainly benefited from that. And he's been on a run overall with an 8-game hitting streak here of late.
Well, that's his natural swing path, is to right center field. Stays on the ball nicely. And in that ballpark, that's where all the room is, up in Detroit.
Just off the plate. Now that pitch didn't have as much run back over the corner like the one to Cabrera. That one looked more four-seam traditional backspin. 2-1 to count. Popped back out of play. And now the count is even at 2-2. Corey Kluber, second in the league in wins, second in shutouts, second in strikeouts, second in complete games. He leads the circuit in ERA. And now he has snuck into the top 10 in innings pitched despite missing a month of action earlier in the season.
Well, you can see the crowd's getting into it early. He has a chance to strike him out and get out of this inning, and that's exactly what they're hoping for.
Here's the 2-2. And Castellanos does a good job to just spoil one.
Take a look at this pitch they want away. That's a little cutter on the Nissan pitch tracker that stayed middle of the plate, so he got away with one early right there.
Again, the 2-2. And again, a foul ball. Tell you what, the gates here at Progressive Field are jammed with late arriving people trying to get into the ballpark for this one.
Well, you can see them in the aisles over there. They got to wait till they get the inning over or the last out before they can go to their seats.
And the 2-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Corey Kluber fans a pair. And the Tigers cannot capitalize on a leadoff double. Now the Indians are coming to bat.
In the first, and now it's the Indians' chance, and they will be facing Matthew Boyd. He's our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher for the Tigers, and Boyd is making his 22nd start of the season. 3 of them have come against Cleveland. In his first start in April, he beat the Indians. His second start, he lost to them, and in his last start, September 1st in Game 1, he had a no decision.
The Indians starting lineup for Terry Francona brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Francisco Lindor leading it off. Then it's Austin Jackson. Jose Ramirez leads the league in doubles with 47. He'll hit third. Then it's Edwin Encarnacion, Carlos Santana, and Jay Bruce. Yandy Diaz, Brandon Geyer, who has been playing well of late, and Yan Gomes sizzling right now, batting ninth. Indians are third in the American League with a .263 team batting average. They're fourth in runs scored, averaging 5 per game. First pitch from Matthew Boyd, the left-hander, down and in. 1-0 to Francisco Lindor. Jose Ramirez, who's had an MVP type season, is suddenly looking over his shoulder, and he's seeing Francisco Lindor sneak up on him on a number of key statistical categories as well. Lindor now tied for 8th with 36 doubles, and he's right behind Lindor with 69 extra base hits, third in the American League. The 2-1 pitch, and a foul back to even the count.
You know, you look at Boyd's numbers on the year, 5-9, a .593. He hasn't pitched that way against the Indians. In his 3 starts, he's pitched very well, an ERA at 2.41, 18 2/3 innings, only 17 hits, hasn't allowed a homer, walked 7 and struck out 12.
The 2-2. And a pop-up might be playable here. Cabrera to the dugout. No. Right on the top of the dugout in the
gutter.
In the drain area. Yeah, with splashdown. Well, if Boyd is to pitch well against the Indians, then he's going to have to buck a trend. In the last 10 games in which the Indians have won 9 against the Tigers, they've outscored Detroit 73-21. The 2-2.
Yeah, and in their last 5, it's like 40-5 in their last 5 losses, and that's 5 straight that the Indians have beaten them.
Well, 5 times in those last 10 games, the Indians have scored 10 or more runs. Another foul by Lindor.
And that's what you're doing. Just follow off some good pitches in hopes you get one to your liking. Lindor has done a nice job of getting things going early, especially in ball games, whether it's on the road. They've scored a lot in that top half of the first inning.
Slugs this one high in the air, deep to left. Presley is back, looking up. It is gone. Francisco Lindor puts the Indians on the board first here tonight with a leadoff homer.
That's the first homer Boyd has given up to the Indians, and I'll tell you, Lindor worked it in that at bat. He fouled off some tough pitches, and then he got one he liked. And there it goes. 1 out over the plate. That's not coming back. That is number 30 for Frankie.
Man, what a swing, too. That's not a guy who's up there hacking away trying to hit a home run. We've seen a lot of that throughout baseball this year. That was just a nice smooth swing, and Francisco Lindor with each home run adds to his single season record. Most home runs hit by an Indian shortstop. Swung on and missed. If I'd have told you a year ago that the Indians had a 30-homer shortstop in their midst, would you believe me?
Well, when Frankie first came to the big leagues, we heard his defense was outstanding, you know, and he'd had ways to go with his offense, but not after the first year. I would say, yeah, I believe you after watching him play for a year. Boy, and he's fit into that leadoff hole nicely.
Austin Jackson, a little squibber up the first base line. Backhanded flip, and a nice job by Cabrera to keep his toe on the bag. 1 down.
Well, here's the swing that he's going to hit that home run. The ball was out over the plate. He stayed back on it. And look at the head and just a nice smooth swing. Didn't overswing and got enough of it. And he hits the same from both sides of the plate, whether it's the left side or the right side. It's just natural. That is his 9th home run from the right side of the plate. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. It's 11. We've got so many switch hitters on this team. You look down and there. That's his 11th.
Jose Ramirez fouls one back. He homered last night, giving him 26 home runs on the year. 79 extra base hits, leading the American League in that category. And he chops one high in the air to left, but not deep enough. 2 down.
Take a look at that Tigers defense. Now we have an opportunity, brought to you by WB Mason. It looks like this. Presley is in left, Collins in center, Castellanos over in right. Candelario is at third, Romine the shortstop this evening, Kinsler is at second, Cabrera at first, Holiday doing the catching.
Here is Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin 7th in the American League in home runs. He's 10th in runs batted in. "18 times during the 19-game winning streak, the Indians have scored first. And by scoring first here tonight, also important to mention that on the season, they are 67-19 when they score first. Fouled back. Ball and 2 strikes. And they won each of the last 24 when they get that first run on the board. And that's the thing that we've seen, Rick, a lot. They don't just get a run. It seems like they've come in bunches early in the game.
Yes, and they turn it over to their good solid pitching. It's a great formula. Detroit had that opportunity to score in the first. They could not.
A bit outside. (63-12) during the streak. They've outscored the opposition just in the first 3 innings. A line drive to third, caught to end the inning. We've played one here in Cleveland, where the Indians are off to the early lead thanks to Francisco Lindor's 30th home run of the year. It's a 1-0 Indians lead. And in the second inning, Corey Kluber goes to work against Jeimer Candelario, Tyler Collins, and Brian Holiday. Candelario, a switch hitter, looks at a ball in the dirt. Kluber with a fastball to even the count. And a chopper to second base. Jose Ramirez takes care of that one away. Tonight's storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. A win tonight means the Indians would tie Oakland for the American League record for consecutive victories. And Corey Kluber in his last 19 starts, 12-2 with a 189 earned run average. If you haven't been with us throughout the season, we've made mention of it on various occasions that while Corey Kluber was fantastic when he won the Cy Young Award just a couple of years ago, Terry Francona has brought this up. Mickey Callaway. Many believe he has pitched better this year. Whether he wins the award or not, they feel like he's a better pitcher now. To short or to second base again. Ramirez throws him out, 2 down.
Well, hard to disagree because he's been so consistent. You know, that last start that he made earlier in the year before he went on the disabled list was against the Tigers. That was May 2nd. And then he missed about a month before he came back on June 1st. And, you know, he only went 3 innings in that game, gave up 5 runs, took the loss. But since that point, he came back with the back issues. He was unbelievable.
Arch and Matt, I can give you the numbers of the Kluber impact. The team was 13-12 from May 3rd to May 31st with a 3.161 ERA. Since his return, the pitching staff is 61-32 with a 3.14 ERA. We know his numbers in the 19 games started is 12-2.
Right.
But think about the impact for the entire staff since he's been back.
No question. He's the guy he's the leader.
Swung on and missed, and the count is 1-1. And Andre, I think a big part of it, and I know you've talked to Corey on numerous occasions, he's a better pitcher plain and simply because he's got more experience. He's smarter. He just has a bigger base of knowledge to work from.
Yes, and when we talk about going against teams in the AL Central, he feels like he has enough information that he knows how to battle these guys.
And he makes big pitches when he needs to. 8 pitches. He retires the side in order. Here in the second, 1-0 Cleveland. Where the Indians have a 1-0 lead. Larry Dolan enjoying this ball game.
Well, I think he's
out here
enjoying this ride.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. He has to be having a ball.
See him out in Goodyear during spring training after the games. He's like he's still that wide-eyed fan that he was as a kid. Just has a little more invested now.
Well, it's been a fun couple of years for him, that is for sure.
Carlos Santana leading off the second inning. Big curveball from Boyd, misses outside.
Santana with the left-hander on the mound today, moving back into the number 5 hole, as Bruce will be behind Santana tonight.
Andrew Romine with a nice charge, scoops and throws him out. The Red Cross depends on financial donations to be able to provide disaster relief immediately. Help those affected by Hurricanes Harvey and Irma by visiting redcross.org or texting Red Cross to 90999, and you'll make a $10 donation. Jay Bruce with 1 out here in the second inning. There was a ceremony before the ball game in which Jay presented the check in the amount of $350,000. The amount of money that he and everyone who contributed raised to the hurricane relief efforts in his hometown of Beaumont, Texas. And again, he was just so thrilled and grateful for everyone who helped out and made donations, big and small.
There it is.
I mean, he's only been here barely a month, and yet, you know, a lot of folks stepped up and helped out. You know, that was the thing that I think struck me the most, talking to him about the hurricane situation. He said, you know, what that showed me is that for all the hullabaloo that goes on politically and all over the country, he said, man, when the chips are down, people really put all that aside and they step up and they help out. And he sucks one to right field for a base hit. Castellanos playing just a stride or two in front of the warning track, able to cut it off. And Jay Bruce with a 1-out single.
Well, they're working him out in right field. Castellanos normally a third baseman, so they will play him deeper. But that was a good thing here. Bruce hits a line drive. He gets it on the 1-hop and gets it in. So the second hit for the Indians. It'd be nice to see this guy get going again like he did when he came over here.
Yandy Diaz has been locked in. Takes a big curveball. Last 18 games, Yandy has batted .339 with 5 doubles, 8 runs batted in, and he has scored 14 times.
He's done a nice job too with runners in scoring position through this streak. He's 6 for 14. And it seems like he just seems so much more comfortable up here since his recall.
I would agree.
And if you remember going back to that first game we were facing Sale, he ended up having 4 hits that day, didn't he, where he took the right field wall down.
Well, you called it, because I had said that, you know, he'd had some good at bats, and, you know, it wasn't like a panic situation. They still believed him, and you said all he needs is to get rewarded. You know, you hit a ball hard, it's one thing. You need to get rewarded, and then the next thing you know, 4 hits later.
Yeah, he took off. Well, and he's been growing from there, and that's what you need sometimes as a young player, just a little confidence to fit in. And now he's getting some starts at third base, and he may come out late in the game for Giovanni Urshela.
Well, the thing to look for tonight is a home run, because he promised Andre after the ball game last night that he would hit his first home run tonight.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Don't laugh.
Andre, I didn't hear you come out and say anything.
Well, he said he knows the deal. I told him before the game, but also you guys talk about that. And you did call it, Arch, that if he got a big hit off the Sale, it would change everything. The other thing is that's when this win streak started.
I know.
Think about that.
That was game 1. Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to go for it. Let's go. I want to see him go deep.
He's going to do it. I don't know if it's a bet, though.
Do you care what field it goes to?
Oh, it's going to right center. You know, he's got he can't pull it yet.
Oh, yes, he can. He got a couple base hits that way. He's going to have to hit it. He hit one to center field the other day. It just didn't get down. That wind knocked it down.
You know, Tito was talking before the game about Yandy just having confidence. He still feels like he's 400, 500 bats away from being a great hitter, even better than what he already is. You see when Carlos wants to be back on the mic? You just want the mic so bad.
Carlos Carrasco, blossoming analyst / play-by-play man.
Tell him you'll change salaries with him, Andre, and give him the mic.
Full count.
Hey, Cookie, you want my mic? I'll take your check.
Yeah, there you go. Not that one. The monthly.
Look at that.
Oh, he's got
He does. What's today? Today's not the 15th.
Hey,
he must have got his check
tomorrow.
Andre looked like he had a string attached to that thing and went right back into his hand. Remember back in the old days? Remember the old David Letterman show? Remember the GE corporate handshake where he went to shake the guy's hand and the guy pulled the hand back? That's what happened to Andre right there. Payoff pitch. Yandy with a ground ball single in the hole.
Well, he hit it like he threw it. It was a changeup. And he was able to get it through the hole. That's how his night started when he had his last hit, getting it between short and third. So back-to-back singles now for the Indians. It's a changeup down and away.
Right off the end of the bat,
yeah,
but perfectly placed.
But able to stay back enough to get it through the infield, because everybody's shifting him the other way, because that's where his strength is taking it up the middle into right center.
Well, now you've got 2 on and 1 out for Brandon Guyer, who's batted .289 over his last 34 games. Out in front, strike 1. Just missed inside. The 1-1, and Guyer finds the hole on the left side of the infield, and Jay Bruce will stop at third, and the bases are loaded. 3 consecutive singles with 1 out here in the second inning, and it's the bottom part of the order once again that is getting it going. And Tommy Bowe mentioned to me before the game, this is unofficial because I'm not sure we ever tabulated it up officially, but the 7th, 8th, and 9th spots, irrespective of who's in there, have batted. What do you got? They batted .314 during the 19-game win streak. So when you're getting consistent production from the bottom of the order, you're going to score a lot of runs.
They have been outstanding. They've been driving in runs. They've been getting big base hits. And I'll tell you what, when you look at the catchers, you don't look at their average, because between he and Roberto Perez, now that they're pushing each other, they have 84 RBIs between the 2 of them. So that's not bad production out of your catching slot.
And Yan Gomes riding a 7-game hitting streak.
You know, you look at their DH spot, they have 93 RBIs, and that's what you would figure. But that's the second highest RBI slot, is their catchers.
Fouls 1 back, and Gomes in the hole, 0-2. Well, Rick, it stands to reason that unless you're a team that just simply sits back and says we're going to try to hit home runs and nothing else, that if you're going to score a lot of runs, you better put guys in scoring position. And the Indians have had more at-bats with runners in scoring position than any team in all of baseball this year.
Yeah, they're almost dead even with Houston when you look at it.
Foul back. That was their 1,296th at-bat with a runner in scoring position with Guyer, and he singled into left field.
Well, it's set. It's been all singles and an opportunity now to add on. And once again, look who's on deck and who's been batting in the first 2 innings for the last few weeks.
Boyd's 0-2 pitch. Pop back out of play.
Yeah, he is coming right at him. But they may try and make him chase one down. Maybe bounce one, see if he chases it. But he's come at him, and Gomes has fouled off a couple to stay alive.
That's low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
All right, there you go. That's the chase pitch he wanted, and Gomes was able to hold up.
And the 1-2. Time was called by the catcher Holiday before.
That was good. He gave it to him. I'm surprised. He was almost picking that front foot up, and Holiday got it from the umpire.
Yeah, I think he probably gave it to him only because it was his catcher that called it.
Let's see. Boy, he had to say it verbally, didn't he? He didn't do anything with his hands.
Yeah, usually you see the catcher throw his hands up.
No question.
John Adams rocking the drum in the bleachers in left field. The 1-2 to Gomes. Swung on and missed. And Matthew Boyd with a key strikeout keeps the bases loaded, and now there are 2 down.
Yeah, he gets his first strikeout at the right time. It's a changeup down and away. And that was earlier in that bat. That was only number 2. There it is, the changeup down and away. And that's where he gets Gomes to chase after it. Well, now with 2 outs, can Lindor do it again?
Lindor had a crazy at bat that first time up. He fouled a bunch of pitches off and then ended up drilling a ball to the bleachers and left. Last night he cleared the bases.
Yes.
With a triple to right center field.
Frankie has a much higher batting average from this side of the plate, hitting .310 coming into tonight.
1-1.
But in the first inning, hit a home run on a fastball away. Gave him a little swinging room, hit it into the left field bleachers. Number 30. What a great number for a shortstop.
Up, foul out of play.
Okay, now down in the count 1-2. Let's see what he does. Fouled off a couple. Look at this, 3rd player in Indians history with 30 home runs before the age of 24. They're the witness Manny Ramirez this year. We get to see 2 out of the 3.
Boyd with the 1-2 pitch. And off the plate.
Yeah, he's not going to let him just foul him off like he did the last time. He's going to try and make him think inside part of the plate as well.
Boyd steps off the back of the mound. You know, you have to think whether the talent bears it out. You're going to get everybody's best shot when you've got a streak going like this. Yes. If you're Matthew Boyd, you'd love nothing better than to be the guy that ends that streak. The 2-2. And it's outside, full count. Well, now Lindor knows he's got to come to him.
And it's been comes right back with that changeup.
A 30-pitch inning. And most of those folks who were jammed up at the gates earlier are in their seats, and they are up roaring now. Runners go on the payoff pitch. Popped up, foul, back out of play. We'll try it again. Holiday goes out to talk with Boyd briefly. Jay Bruce, the runner at third. Yandy Diaz is at second. Brandon Guyer down at first. All three runners will be moving on the 3-2 pitch. Threw his bat at it, popped it up, foul ground. The catcher, Holiday, makes the catch. So Matt Boyd gets out of a bases loaded one-out jam. 1-0 Cleveland after 2. Cold one to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. 1-0 Cleveland, third inning. Efren Navarro will lead off for the Tigers. Serving as the DH tonight, and Corey Kluber with an off-speed pitch for strike one. Matthew Boyd did a terrific job to get out of that mess with the bases loaded and only one out.
The two big outs he got came on his changeup.
Corey Kluber did a great job in the first inning. After the leadoff double, they sacrificed Kinsler to third base. And then Corey with back-to-back strikeouts of Miguel Cabrera and Nick Castellanos to get out of the inning. And when you look back over this streak, 15 times in the 19 games that they've won, the pitching staff has allowed one or no hits with runners in scoring position. Now the 1-2. The most hits they've allowed in any game during the streak with a runner in scoring position was 3, and that was in game 1 of that doubleheader against the Tigers on September 1st.
And that was the game that Boyd pitched in that game, game 1 of that doubleheader.
Fastball took off.
Kluber gave out that leadoff double to Kinsler and has retired the last 6 straight.
And the payoff pitch got him looking. Perfect placement once again. And Corey Kluber is like an expert marksman at times with that pitch over the outside corner.
Yeah, you'll watch that breaking ball, the cutter come right in, catch the outside edge. He gets the call. Late break, hits the glove. Umpire has a good look. Scott Berry rang him up.
Andrew Romine swung on and missed. Pitch down and in. He swung right over the top.
Kluber on the year averages under 15 pitches per inning, 14.5, and averages just over 6 hits per inning, or per 9 innings. That's why if you're going to get to Corey Kluber, when you get into situations like they had in the first, you almost have to get him, because he gets tougher as the game goes on, it seems.
He has incredible sense of what hitters are trying to do against him early in the game. And once he figures that, once you tip your hand, he's quick to make the adjustment. 2-1 pitch. Slow chopper towards first. Kluber going over to take the flip from Santana. 2 down. Take a look at our Kia in the driver's seat right now. Indians starting pitchers during the 19-game win streak have gone 17. So they have 17 of the 19 victories. Collectively, the ERA under 2. 121 strikeouts against just 23 walks.
That to me is the most amazing thing about the streak, is the starters, the consistency, how they've just followed one another, going out to the mound and just doing their thing. They put zeros on the board early and let their offense score, and they just continue to do it. And it has taken a lot of pressure off that bullpen. Thought when Andrew Miller went on the disabled list that they would have some issues, and the starting staff has really shouldered the load. Slider.
Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Kluber strikes him out. Kinsler isn't even going to bother running to first. He'll throw down to retire him, and the inning is over. Corey has struck out 4, and the Indians lead at 1-0.
TV every night on every device. Catch all out-of-market regular season games live. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Just visit Indians MLB TV for the details.
Austin Jackson will lead off the third inning for the Indians. Jackson 0 for 1. Indians lead at 1-0 here in the bottom of the third.
They have made Boyd throw a lot of pitches early in this game. He's at 57. He had to work very hard to get out of that second inning, but certainly got his way through that inning. Change up, a big pitch for him there.
Back on June 24th, Austin Jackson picked up his 1,000th career hit. Pulled off that time, 2-2. Jackson has done an outstanding job in his last 43 games. He's hit .322 for the Indians. And the 2-2 backs him off. With Bradley Zimmer out with the broken finger, Jackson in center field. Jason Kipnis has worked out in center field. 3-2 delivery. And a line drive base hit. And Jackson leads off the third for the Indians with a solid stroke to left center.
Yeah, another full count, another nice swing.
Player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Jose Ramirez, during the Indians' 19-game win streak, has hit .383 with 17 of those extra base hits. And it wasn't that long ago he had that historic 5 extra base hit game in Detroit.
Yeah, a couple of homers and 3 doubles, and what a year he's had against the Tigers.
And there was a lot of chatter after the game last night as to whether or not Detroit may have intentionally thrown at Ramirez last night.
Yeah.
He singles into right field.
That's if they did, that's one way to say there you go. Get a base hit, and they do. So it's back-to-back singles to start off the third inning. They had 3 consecutive hits last inning to get the bases loaded. One thing, they were all singles. Last night when they came inside, you can see he tried to drop the bat and get out of the way, but the ball hit the bat and then ricocheted off his forearm. So maybe if his arms went up and he kept hold of the bat, it may not even have hit him.
Luckily, Ramirez suffered nothing more than a contusion. Right back in the lineup here tonight. First 2 aboard in the bottom of the third, and Edwin Encarnacion a swing and a miss. He hit a ball right on the nose his first time up, but it was right at third baseman Jeimer Candelario. Last 12 games, Edwin has hit .356 with 4 homers and 12 runs batted in. He's everywhere. He's at the plate. He's in the stands. Now the 0-1. Way outside.
Again, they're going to get their opportunities with runners in scoring position. More opportunities you give yourself and you start going through the middle part of that lineup, sooner or later they're going to cash in.
I guess it stands to reason if you bat cleanup and you're in there every day, you're going to get more chances to bat with runners in scoring position than anybody else in the lineup.
Yes, you will.
Edwin 32 for 145 on the year. Encarnacion not happy about it, but that may have been a perfect pitch by Matthew Boyd.
Yeah, that's a great fastball down and away. That's, you're not going to hit it, so you just take it. Counts in your favor. No need to. That's a double play ball if you hit it.
And he takes a called third strike for the first out of the inning. Second strikeout for Boyd, who's been living dangerous here in the last couple of innings, but he's so far been able to navigate his way through.
Good curveball too. That thing really slowed it down. 73 miles per hour. Comes into the strike zone late. Very good pitch.
Up comes Carlos Santana. Santana grounded out his first time up. Outside, 1-1. Santana has that bat loaded up with some pine tar on it. Look at a fresh coat. The 1-1. A little low.
It's a good take on the changeup. That's a pitch that everybody's been swinging at. And I'll tell you, it's not a bad pitch to begin with, maybe just a little bit low.
Skirting with the edges.
Went home and baked that in the oven.
He went around, says home plate umpire Scott Berry, and it's 2-2.
That's the one he's upset at. He was able to take the one before that. He couldn't take that one. He wanted to get started and cheated a little bit, and you can see he did go. So that evens the count.
Popped him up, and that's out of play.
Doing a nice job of changing the eye level to Santana here. Tried to ride the fastball upstairs.
You know, there's a common thinking in baseball that you're never as bad as you are when you're in the throes of an offer, and you're never as good as you are when you seemingly can't make it out or you can't lose a game. The truth lies somewhere, I suppose, in the middle.
Yeah, but you certainly feel a lot better when you're going good. You get hits.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Santana. The question I have for you is, when you're going really well and you're, as the cliche goes, you're in a tree, do you ever worry about the offer, the times when things don't? Do you always feel like that's sort of always right around the corner?
No.
So you're never really comfortable or satisfied, are you?
No. When you're going good, you don't think about anything. It's almost like you go up there, you're seeing it well, and you believe you're going to hit it hard somewhere. No, it takes a while to start thinking negatively if you're going out there every day and you're a player. I mean, it's tough to get a base hit, especially now when they have the shifts and the defense move around. You can hit a ball hard, and you've got to take something positive away from that at bat, even though you don't get a hit. You know, sometimes you don't have to get a hit to feel good about yourself.
Jay Bruce hit a ball hard his first time up and was rewarded with a line drive single to right, but after consecutive singles behind him, he was stranded at third when the Indians could not take advantage of a bases loaded one-out situation in the second inning.
If Boyd can get out of this, he'll feel really good about himself after getting back-to-back innings like that. But Bruce could break his heart right here.
Boyd's only problem at this rate is how long can he last? He's already at 77 pitches.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, he's got to work his way, and I mean really work hard to get through it. If he can get through 5, it would be something. But look at 23-32 in the second inning. you're not going to last long in a ball game when you're throwing that many pitches.
Yandy Diaz waiting on deck.
But I'll tell you what, he's fighting hard to get through this and keep it a 1-0 game. Taken all the way. Whatever you have to do to throw a strike, and he didn't give in and throw him a fastball right there. That was a 3-0 slider. You got Diaz on deck. He doesn't want to walk him here.
Three-one offering. Yeah, big off-speed pitch. Slowed it down. Full count.
He went slider, went curveball, and now he's back into the count. And you know, and Bruce is sitting up there thinking, "Wow, I thought I was at least going to get a fastball on one of those two."
Two on, two out. And now Holliday's going to go out and just tell him what to throw.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to do it.
Brad Ausmus last night was into his bullpen in the 4th inning. Now the 3-2 pitch. And just a bit low, ball 4. Wow. Tigers bellowing from their dugout, but that was strike 3.
You know, it's his first walk. I would like to see that pitch again. That looked like a pretty good pitch. Here you go, 3-2 count. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'll tell you what, I want that pitch. If I'm pitching and I'm on that defensive side, I want that pitch. Must have been called low. So it loads the bases.
And with 2 down, Yandy Diaz, who singled his first time up, is the batter.
And here's a guy that's been good with runners in scoring position throughout the streak.
In the air, right field. Castellanos is there. And the Indians leave him loaded for the 2nd inning in a row. 1-0 Cleveland through 3. Tigers 1-0 before we get to the 4th inning, down to Andre Knott.
So much is brought up about how clubhouses are made and how they come about and why they work. I talked to Corey Kluber about that, and he thinks there's something special about the one that they have currently.
I mean, I think that it's been that way here for a few years, but I don't think that we necessarily take it for granted. I know it's not that way everywhere. Not saying that our clubhouse is better than other clubhouses, just saying that I don't think that's always the case. I think that we've done a good job of kind of creating that culture, so to speak. But I think that it also is something that you have to continually work at. You know, I think that it's, like I said, it's guys all pulling in the same direction and realizing what that direction is.
You know, one of those things too is that Tito, he lets those guys patrol their own clubhouse. They're in charge. They're in there every day.
Corey Kluber facing Alex Presley here to start the 4th. And a little low ball 1. Purples at 5.
Send out some special birthday wishes today. Anna Mae Ebinger of Lorraine turning 100. Happy birthday. Beth Hoffman also turning 90. Happy birthday to you, Beth. September's a busy month for birthdays.
A little high. Corey Kluber has retired 9 in a row since Ian Kinsler started the game with a double. Fouled right back. Indians winners of 19 in a row and 28 of their last 32. They start tonight 13.5 games in front of Minnesota in the Central Division. Magic number down to 6 to clinch the Central Division. Back. They also own the best record in the American League, which is also a bit of a carrot. You know, once you clinch the division, that's also something that I think this team's still going to want to play for. Now, they're not going to do it at the risk of giving much needed time off for certain players.
They realized how important home field advantage was last year in the playoffs. Able to start at home all the way through.
Foul ball by Presley.
Presley puts up a good at bat against Kluber. I said he 4 hits off him the last time he faced him. Only the other guy to do that this year was Milky Cabrera, and that's when he was with the Chicago White Sox.
8th pitch of the at bat coming up right here. Right back to him. And Corey with a nice play defensively to retire Presley 1 away. Take a look at our stat of the game, brought to you by Buick. Since the dawn of the 20th century, the Indians with a 19-game win streak. The Oakland A's hold the American League record set 15 years ago. Then the Cubs of 1935 were reeled off 21 straight victories. The New York Giants, they had a tie mixed into their streak, so that's more of an unbeaten streak than a true winning streak. But there they are. And the Indians right in the throes of making history. Miguel Cabrera taking a cold strike. Cabrera was rung up on a fastball thrown by Kluber with pinpoint accuracy in that first inning with a runner at third base and only 1 out. It was a 3-2 pitch that Cabrera thought was ball 4, but it just grazed the outside corner. And a key out for Kluber early. And there's that cutter. It just falls off the edge of the plate. 1-2. Almost looked more like a slider, didn't it? It's got a little tighter break.
It did, but he can throw it at different speeds.
That time Cabrera lays off.
That's a tough one to lay off for right-handed hitters, especially when you get to 2 strikes because of the late break to that pitch there. Boy, it's almost like you once you commit, you can't hold up. But that was a really good take by Cabrera.
Came back with it, strikes him out. Number 5 for Kluber. And there are 2 down here in the 4th.
Strikeout number 240 on the year for Kluber. and comes back with just another great one. That was a strike even if he didn't swing. You know, that's the teaser. The pitch before he puts it, you know, 3 or 4 inches off the plate. You don't want to swing at that one. He brings it back onto the plate.
Nick Castellanos, he struck out his first time up.
Kluber this year leads Major League Baseball with swings and misses. It's just a hair under 35%, 34.5% swings and misses, and you can see why.
A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, when you're sitting there and then you get caught looking for a breaking ball, all of a sudden he throws that fastball by that looks like it's about 96, 97, and it's not. But the movement right there at 93. And that's why he stays in games so long. He gets his strikeouts, but he doesn't walk anybody, and he just pounds the strike zone.
Nice piece of hitting by Castellanos. He goes down the line just inside the chalk. And he'll go into second base with a 2-out double.
Well, this is what you have to do, and I'll tell you what, it's not easy to do. Castellanos with a really pretty swing. This ball's going to be on the inside part of the plate, but he takes it that way. He was sitting waiting back for that slider to shoot it that way. He let it travel deep into the zone. That was almost at the plate, and he was able to keep it fair and get it down into the corner. So 2 hits tonight, both have been doubles. And that's number 29 for Castellanos on a nice piece of hit. He earned that one.
Yeah, both by right-handed hitters and both to the right side of the field.
Yeah, they earn it. He makes you earn it.
So Jeimer Candelario will be the batter. It snaps a string of 11 straight Tigers retired by Kluber. And that misses outside for ball 1. No team has ever averaged 10 or more strikeouts per 9 innings in the history of Major League Baseball for a full season. But the Indians began the night 10.05 strikeouts per 9, so just a shade over 10. And Kluber's already fanned 5 in 4 innings of work here tonight. Candelario, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Kluber has struck out 240. Carlos Carrasco just went over the 200 strikeout mark.
Bauer's next.
And Bauer's at 177. And he's going to make a good, strong closing argument. Now the 1-2. Got him looking.
Maybe.
Kluber with some paint. 6th strikeout of the night. 1-0 Cleveland, middle of the 4th. of Jamer Candelario. Fastball. And a pitch in off the plate. Brandon Guyer singled to load the bases with 1 out back in the 2nd inning. But the Indians were unable to capitalize. Hit hard to third. Candelario makes the throw over for out number 1. Coming up tonight on the Tribe Report, presented by GMC. Look at the Indians' record-setting run. Mini Baseball Creations Part 2 and the Plays of the Week, presented by GMC. It's all right after the ball game tonight here on Sports Time Ohio. Swung out and missed. He's Yan Gomes.
Yeah, that was the big out back in the 2nd inning for Boyd when he had bases loaded and 1 out, and he was able to get Gomes swinging. That was for out number 2, and then he retired Lindor.
Matt Boyd has had a lot of trouble here in the early goings to work in and around, but he's done a good job of keeping the Indians from blowing this game open, which they've had opportunities to do.
Yeah, he's looking to have his first 1, 2, 3 inning if he could, and maybe keep him around for another inning or so.
Out of play. And that's out of play as Gomes tries to work the count and get himself a pitch to hit. He's collected a hit in 7 straight games. Indians have 6 hits so far on the night. The only one to account for a run, the leadoff homer by Lindor in the 1st. And that's back out of play.
That's another thing the Indians have done well tonight against Boyd. That's their 14th 2-strike foul ball. You know, to just foul him off, stay alive, and make him work and throw a few more pitches. Even though he has been able to get his outs when needed, they have made him work hard to get outs, period.
Yeah, nobody up yet in the Tigers bullpen, but as he gets closer and closer to 100 pitches. And this will be the 9th pitch of the at bat right here for Gomes. And he pulls that foul. The 2-2 off the end of the bat foul. And he got him with a good fastball. And that's 4 strikeouts for Boyd, 2 down in the inning. Down to Andre.
Well, Rick has talked about earlier tonight about what Francisco Lindor has done to the Indians lineup from the leadoff spot. Frankie has told me he's willing to hit anywhere, but maybe Tito has found the spot for him. Since August 18th, he's hitting over 330. He's got 11 home runs, 23 RBI, 20 runs scored, and the team is 21-3 since he moved into the leadoff spot. Just maybe this is a spot that's perfect for what Francisco Lindor does.
I think you're right. Remember when he was struggling, he was trying to hit the line drives and go up the middle. It's really made him concentrate more about getting on base.
It has. And the one thing he told me in the second half, he's been willing to make some adjustments to his swing, and knowing the pitchers are adjusting to him, he's more willing to adjust back, and it's working.
Well, you know how he is. He's going to find a way to beat you. It doesn't matter.
This might stay in play. Let's see. Presley down the line. No, it's going to drift into the seats. And Lindor comes back to home plate. Frankie fouled out with the bases loaded and 2 down in the second inning, but he homered to lead off the game in the first. Mike Pachta says that it's the 12th time during the 19-game win streak that Lindor has batted in each of the first 2 innings.
I know it. It's remarkable. We mentioned that when we were on the road trip. You lead off the first and he's hitting again in the second. And it's happened a number of times here.
Shoots that foul out of play.
You know sorry about that, Matt. You know the thing though that I love about Lindor? He admitted to me. He says I was stubborn in the first half, and he goes, I was very stubborn, and then I realized the guy was beating me because of my stubbornness. I have to work through this to be better.
And he takes this one straight up the middle, but Collins will make the catch. First time the Indians are retired in order tonight, and through 4 it remains Cleveland 1, Detroit nothing. Baseball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by Cleveland Clinic, Express Care online. Download it now for free. 1-0 Cleveland as we roll on to the 5th inning. And Tyler Collins takes a strike. He grounded out his only time up in the second inning.
Kluber continuing to pound the strike zone. 43 strikes on his 63 pitches.
That one might have got a piece of the bare hand of Yan Gomes as he moved over to try and block that ball.
Yeah, that couldn't have felt good.
ball to first. Diving back in and stopped by Santana. Makes a good feed to Kluber for out number 1.
Right there, Santana just made sure he caught the ball on the backhand side, and then he didn't panic when he got up. Made sure he was going to give Kluber a good feed. And Kluber right there to retire him easily. But boy, this defense, you talk about the streaks, we talk about the pitching, we talk about the hitting. The defense has been outstanding too, and I mean the infield defense superb. They've made every play. I think they've only made 6 errors in this streak. I mean, it's been outstanding. They have moved up into number 1 in the league.
Every team has its moments, but really for the most part, this has been a good defensive team all season.
Yes. But I'm saying now you got guys in different parts, you know. Diaz may start the game. Urshela comes in. Ramirez has bounced back from second to third. The constant has been Lindor and Santana out there.
Yeah.
And then you've had, you know, bouncing parts going back and forth. And the guys that have done it, the kids that they've called up have been great defensively. And that's the number 1 thing you want with a good pitching staff. Just make every play every day. That can, you know, your normal play.
Up the middle, Lindor.
There you go.
Flags it down, throws him out. A sensational effort by the Indians' platinum glove shortstop.
As we talk about the defense, you get a play like that at the constant. The guy that makes him day in and day out. Ranging far to his left, and he's going to bounce one over to Santana, as he does often. Making a spin, the throw on one leg, and a great pickup by Santana to add to it. Beautiful.
Omar Vizquel, he took more than a few hits away from people here at this ballpark for many years.
Well, he knows what that play is like because he's made them himself. I mean, we've had an opportunity to watch Omar play for 11 years here at this ballpark and with this organization. And when you can follow up with a guy like Lindor, I'll tell you what, it's going to be fun to watch as long as he's going to stay here.
Two down, bases empty. Efrain Navarro, the batter. It was called out on strikes his only time up back in the 3rd. Back out of play.
Catch up on a few more birthdays. Marjorie Hagen of Bellefonte is 90. Arthur Walton of Cleveland is 86. Carol Riley of Canal Fulton is 79.
A couple of Ashland birthdays. Judy Provost and Rosemary Roberts celebrating her 84th birthday tonight.
Happy birthday to you all.
And Kluber's 2-1 pitch. In the air, left field, over near the line is Geyer. Makes the catch. The Tigers go 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Cleveland. 1-0. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It'll be Jackson, Ramirez, Encarnacion due for the trot. And Matthew Boyd, who is right at 100 pitches, still out there for the Tigers.
Yeah, with some action in their bullpen. Going through the 2, 3, and 4 part of the lineup for the 3rd time tonight.
A little high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Not surprising. It's another left-hander.
Yeah, Lane Hardy up.
Bullpen. Out of play. 1-2. Jackson shoots that foul as well down the right side. And a slow curveball misses away to even the count.
There you go. Not bad. 68 strikes, 37 balls. He's done a nice job to hang in there.
Jackson, a slow chopper back to the mound. 1 away. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Francisco Lindor led off the bottom of the 1st with a home run to the bleachers and left. And Corey Kluber has made it stand up through 5 2-hit shutout innings. He has struck out 6 Tiger batters. Ramirez, a foul ball deep into the left field corner.
This is about the time the Indians usually try to add on in their games when they score early. Tonight it was only 1. But this is an offense that they continue to apply the pressure. They're well balanced. You cannot take a hitter off if you're a pitcher.
And a nice play at short by Romine. Hard hit ball by Ramirez, but it's out number 2.
Well, you can purchase 2018 season tickets now and unlock access to all of this year's postseason games. That includes the World Series. You don't want to get shut out? Just visit Indians.com/season tickets.
2 down for Edwin Encarnacion.
Boyd's season high in pitches is 111. 6 times he's been over the 100 pitch mark. And this next pitch will equal his season high. He's pitched very well. This is his 4th start. He won his first one against the Tribe early in April. He lost the 2nd start. He had a no decision last time we were in Detroit. And back out here again. Although it's only the 5th inning. He will probably not be back after this inning if he gets this last out. But he has kept him in the ball game.
2 balls and a strike to count on Edwin. The Indians have 6 hits. 5 of those 6 hits have been singles outside of the Lindor home run. But the Indians have had multiple extra base hits in every game of this win streak, averaging almost 5 a game. Slam fouled on the left side.
Had the count in his favor, and boy, there's one coming into the wheelhouse who turned on a little too quickly.
3-2 and another pitch to hit, a fastball, and he fouled it straight back. And again, Boyd's payoff pitch struck him out on a high fastball. So Boyd goes 5 innings, strikes out 5, and it's 1-0 Cleveland.
Is a very hot baseball team as the fans enjoying some of the warmth out there by the fire. And the Indians aren't the only team with a middle infielder that can go yard 30 times like Francisco Lindor has. So are the Minnesota Twins. Brian Dozier, his 30th homer here. San Diego providing little resistance tonight in Minneapolis. Twins lead the Pods 7-0 second inning. Let's send it back over to Matt and Rick. Guys?
All right, thanks, Sal. Dozier having another big year for Minnesota. As the Twins trying to hang in there in the wild card race. They began the night 1 game up on the LA Angels for the wild card, the second wild card spot. Texas started the night just 2 back. And the 1-0 pitch to Andrew Romine is fouled off.
That's that changeup, and to left-handers now, a lot of times they see that breaking ball and that cutter coming inside, and all of a sudden he throws it looks like a fastball, and that changeup's very effective to the left-handers.
Out of play.
Well, one more birthday. Mike Blazing of Crestline is 75. Happy birthday to you. And Jack and Kathy Kemp are celebrating their 47th wedding anniversary of Barberton. Congratulations.
Over the 1-2, and that's strike 3 called. 7 strikeouts for Kluber. 1 down here in the 6th.
Well, you watch the pitches of Corey Kluber, and we got a little 2-seam fastball starting out here, coming back and hitting the outside corner for a called strikeout. It doesn't stop there, because then he's got the cut fastball that goes away, and you get the swing and the miss, and then you're going to see the slider. So there's 3 pretty good ones right there. You don't see the changeup or the fastball, but boy, it's he's deadly. We've got 4 of the 7 strikeouts called.
Yep. Ian Kinsler doubled in the first, just inside the bag at first base, then down into the right field corner. He was stranded at third.
Nice pick. I thought he could.
Kluber recovers in time to throw him out 2 away.
Corey, 35 pitches to retire the first 9. And there's a didn't quite pick it, went off the glove, but stayed there and gets the out. And 40 pitches the second time through that lineup. And this is the amazing thing about this guy. He's so consistent. It's about the same point every game. He's throwing between 65–75% strikes. And 7 innings, and he's right around that 100 pitch mark, sometimes below it, sometimes maybe a pitch or 2 over it.
And a fastball strike to Alex Presley.
Only given up 2 hits tonight, has not walked a batter and struck out 7. The defense works well behind him.
A little low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Just missed up. 2 balls and a strike.
There's his total. He always mixes in a couple innings where he's below double digits because hitters get aggressive and want to swing early.
That evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 down here in the 6th. Indians up 1-0. And Corey Kluber with the 2-2. And it just missed off the inside edge.
Yeah, that's that fastball. Sometimes he throws, he wants it to come back, and it just doesn't come back enough. It misses off that plate by about a ball width. It had good comeback, but not quite enough. Detroit just 1 for 11 with 2 strikes tonight.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out, number 8 for Corey Kluber. 6 shutout innings for the Tribe ace. They lead it 1-0. We move on now to the 6th, bottom of the 6th inning here at Progressive Field. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, the question everyone wants to know about the Indians is, when will Andrew Miller be back? The team has made a great run without him, but they all feel to make the true run that they want to make, they'll need him. I talked to him today a little bit, and he feels like tomorrow is the day. He will either come off the DL and throw on Thursday, or he'll throw 1 more simulated game, and then he'll come off the DL. But I also talked to him about what his thoughts are on what the bullpen has done without him.
hopefully I feel like I can handle that load. Hopefully we won't need that load. Hopefully we we go out there and we've added some pieces. I think unfortunately we lost Boone, but we added a couple pieces here and there. Our starting pitchers are going really well. They're throwing deep into games, and they're going to be 1 year better. I think hopefully we don't have any injuries like Carrasco did last year, but we look like we're better on paper. I think the way Brian's throwing the ball, the way Cody's throwing the ball, adding Joe Smith to this bullpen's been huge. Goody's had a great year, and on top of that, Mac and Otero have had good years just like they did last year. So I think we've got a lot of depth, and hopefully we can pick it up.
Thank you, Andre. Andrew Miller anxious to get back into the fold as Carlos Santana drills one deep to left center. He's going to turn and burn, and then Presley couldn't pick up the ball, so he'll go in standing with a leadoff double.
We talked about this last night, how deep their outfield plays. And I mean, Santana hit this first breaking ball, and I mean, he smoked it through the infield. But by the time they get there, he's running laterally to try and get the backhand and just never comes up cleanly with it. Santana was going anyway to second base, so it wouldn't have mattered. But they play so deep, Santana was thinking double, and believe it or not, that for Carlos, that's already his 33rd double. He has 5 triples and 23 homers. So, you talk about extra base hits. He's done a nice job in the second half.
Jay Bruce singled in the second, walked in the third. Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen is for Blaine Hardy. Blaine Hardy's 28th appearance on the year. And he's got Jay Bruce with a 1-ball, 1-strike count as the Indians try to open up what is a 1-run lead here in the 6th. And it's 2-2. Yeah, you talk about the doubles. Lindor with 36, Santana now with 36, Ramirez with 47. And then in the homer category, you've got Edwin with 34, Jay Bruce with 33, Lindor now with 30, and Ramirez with 26. Pulls it to first, and Cabrera makes the play as Santana moves to third.
He threw that fastball, and he got it by Bruce the last pitch. And then he tried to slow it down and get that breaking ball, and he was able to pull it and get his job done.
And now Brad Ausmus will make the move to his bullpen. He wants the right-hander to come on and face Yandy Diaz. So timeout here in Cleveland. Indians lead it 1-0 in the 6th. Youngsters got out of Florida before Irma hit. And they're here enjoying the Tribe.
They sure are, looking for number 20.
Drew Verhagen will come on for the Tigers as the parade of relievers has begun in this ball game now. Third pitcher of the night for Detroit, second of the inning.
Well, now they have to try and just keep it close. And the Indians with an opportunity here, man on third base and just one out. So Diaz will have an opportunity. See, they're going to bring their infield in. But that's not going to change the outfield. The outfield will remain deep. So there's a lot of area right there. You don't have to hit it very hard. Hit a nice line drive, get a base hit.
Yandy Diaz awaits the pitch, and he shoots it just foul up the first base side.
It reminded me of that play we had in Detroit where somebody lined one down the right field line. Their ball boy grabbed it, and it was a fair ball. And after he realized it, he threw it back onto the field and pretended he didn't know.
So now Yandy in the hole 0-2. Or is he? When you're 7 out of 7, you're never in the hole.
Well, he hasn't been to this point. It's been money in the bank.
Swung out and missed. He strikes him out.
He wasted no time. Came in 3 pitches.
First time for everything. 2 down in the inning.
You watch this pitch and the little two-seamer. That thing just good location down below the strike zone. He gets Diaz to chase it, and we're going to get a pinch hitter.
Francisco Mejia will bat for Brandon Geyer with 2 down here in the 6th inning. Mejia, a switch hitter.
Young man's getting an opportunity here in the 6th inning with 2 outs. Oh, they intentionally walked him. They're going to go ahead and face Gomes. So he will not see a pitch. They choose to just walk the rookie. And they like their chances. Now we're going to get a pinch runner. Allen will come in and run for Mejia. And welcome to September baseball.
Greg Allen will stay in the game defensively once this half inning is over. He is a burner at first base. In the dirt. Allen's off for second. Coming home, Santana is safe. And a wild pitch makes it 2-0 Cleveland.
What a great read by Santana. And he took off as soon as he saw the ball in the dirt, and so did Allen. And that's another thing the Indians base runners have been reading very well. Balls out in front of the plate where it goes off the catcher. They don't hesitate. Very aggressive. And by the time Holiday could gather it and pick up the baseball, he couldn't make a throw. So Santana scores that second run, and it comes on a wild pitch.
And that brought a smile to Corey Kluber's face. Down low, 2-0. Santana started the inning with a double, and it was a hustle double at that. And after Jay Bruce grounded out, moving him to third, Brad Ausmus went to the right-hander Verhagen, who struck out Yandy Diaz. But then after the intentional walk to Greg Allen, the wild pitch brings home the second run of the night.
Put a little bit more energy into this crowd. They get that second run across. And right now, Gomes could really get him rocking with a base hit.
To third. Candelario will throw him up to retire the side. But the Indians add a run. And we'll go to the 7th with the Tribe up 2-0 as Corey Kluber, with 6 shutout innings under his belt, goes back to work. Indians baseball is brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. By the stylish 2017 Kia Optima, and by Homerama 2.0, presented to you by the Home Builders Association of Greater Cleveland. Corey Kluber will be facing 3, 4, and 5 in the Tigers lineup here in the 7th inning. Miguel Cabrera to lead it off. Swings at the first pitch, grounds it to Lindor. 1 away.
I love that first pitch, 1 out.
Defensively now for the Indians, Giovanni Urshela into the game, takes over at third base. And in the outfield, Austin Jackson moves from center field to left because Greg Allen is now in center field. You know, going back to what Andre was touching on earlier in the game with regards to the team first approach that this ball club has really adopted. When we got here today, as that ball's lined into right field for a leadoff, for a 1-out single by Castellanos. Saw Jason Kipnis taking balls in the outfield and center field. He was working on ground balls and fly balls, and you know how to get to the ball quickly and make the throws back in. Things that he did when he was an outfielder in college. So this isn't brand new to him, but it's kind of reacquainting yourself with that position and just getting the footwork and some of the timing down.
I guarantee you it was much harder for him to go in and play second base and learn how to play that position than it is to go back out to the outfield. Because he was an outfield once.
Know this, guys. We will see it either Sunday or Tuesday.
Okay.
He wants to go Sunday. The medical staff wants him to wait till Tuesday. Tito was funny and said maybe we'll leave him here and let him play Monday, but we will see him in center field either Sunday or Tuesday.
The other thing I noticed today, Andre, was Giovanni Urshela taking ground balls and working out at first base.
Yes, he's playing all over now. He gets it. He wants to be a part of this team in the playoff run. He says he'll go anywhere in the infield that they ask him to go.
Some of the guys I was talking to were saying, you know, if you can play third, if you're a good enough athlete defensively where you can make all those plays, then moving to first base really shouldn't be that big a deal. I think it would be different maybe if you were a guy who was coming in from the outfield. Again, you're getting closer to the action. It might be different. But if you can play third, you know, other than working on your footwork, he's already got the glove.
Yeah, but you're not talking about postseason baseball. You're talking about during the year. Yeah, I can see it trying to play over there and getting some reps. It's just not as easy said and done at this level, no matter what new position you're going to play.
Which again goes back to Carlos Santana. While he may not have been tested all that much, but just to have the guts to say, yeah, I'll go in the outfield in the World Series.
And he did. That's
right. I haven't played there in forever.
Ever.
Well, didn't he play a game or two when Manny was the actor was managing in the outfield? Maybe I think he did, maybe somewhere along the line. But 2-1 pitch. Again, it just speaks to the team first attitude and the desire to want to be on the field. Hey, find a spot for me. I'll get out there, make it work. And a 3-1. It is a strike called on the inside corner. Now Kluber with the payoff pitch. And a foul back.
Stayed in tight on Candelario. Kluber's given up 3 hits. 2 of them have come to Nick Castellanos, who was on first base.
Again, the 3-2. And a double play ball to Lindor. He'll kick the bag, throw on to first. Stretch time in Cleveland. 7 shutout frames for Kluber. And the Indians lead it 2-0. indeed, where the Indians are now 40-29 on the year. Took them a while to establish the home field advantage this season. They really struggled in the early part of the season. In particular here at home. They've been great on the road really all season long. They're 48-27 on the road, but boy, lately they have found their mojo here at Progressive Field. They have won 8 straight in this ballpark and 19 of 24 since the All-Star break. A little bit outside. And we also say to win the division, you have to win in the division, and that's something they've done an incredible job of. They've won 22 of their last 26 games in the Central.
They really took off in that second half.
Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Dodgers, who've lost 11 in a row in the NL West, their divisional record this year is 32-33.
Well, that's a pretty good division over there. That's for
It
sure.
is. I'll give you that for sure. As Francisco Lindor draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 7th. Yeah, they started out.
Look at that. 500, right. And they had a tough time winning at home. They've kicked it into gear and they've gotten to where they want to be.
Minnesota continues to lay it on San Diego. Twins are up 9-0 on the Padres. So it looks like at most the Indians have an opportunity to knock that magic number down to 5 if they can win this game here tonight.
One last birthday tonight. Robert Smith, also known as Smitty, celebrating his 70th today. He's a vendor here at the ballpark. So Smitty, happy birthday. And that sort of surprised me there. A little bunt by Jackson. I thought, you know, with him going the other way and Lindor can run, you could play a little game there if you want.
He squares again, pulls it back.
But they want to play for one more run.
I'll take it a step further. Why not keep that open and see if Frankie can steal the base?
That's what I was saying. You could let him go and try and steal a base, or you could start him, and if Austin likes it, he could swing it.
I had a conversation with Frankie about his numbers, and he said he wishes he had more stolen bases, but because he bounced around so much, he felt like it wasn't the right thing to do earlier in the year. Because the conversation came up with now him being at 30 home runs. I said, have you ever thought you could be a 30-for-30 guy? And he looked at me and said, be quiet. I don't want to talk about that right now.
Well, the thing I looked at is Austin Jackson does not have a sac bunt on the year. Chops this one up the middle. And promptly the Tigers turn 2.
Well, there you go. The double play will take care of that.
And it will bring up Jose Ramirez, who is 1 for 3 on the night. Well, one last shout out tonight. Want to send out get well wishes to Tommy Thompson, who is a longtime radio voice, 44 years calling high school games in the old Cardinal Conference from Coshocton, Ohio. Tunes in every night. Tommy, we hope you're doing well. Thanks for all your years of service. 44 years calling high school games. Imagine the thrills that he brought to parents and the kids that played in the old Cardinal Conference, North Central Ohio. Yeah. Line drive base hit in the left field for Jose Ramirez. And a 2-out single keeps the inning alive. And it's going to give Edwin Encarnacion a chance to bat. It's been a frustrating night for Edwin. Tonight's injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Bradley Zimmer had surgery on that fractured left hand, and he'll resume baseball activities in 6 to 8 weeks. Michael Fulmer had elbow surgery for the Tigers, and he's their guy as far as the starting pitching goes going into next year. They need him back.
Yes, he is. He's a good pitcher. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we only faced him one time this year out of the 19 games that we played the Tigers. one start against us. I only remember him one time.
Yeah, maybe early in the year.
It was the day before the All-Star break, and that's why, because we were off. It was the day before the All-Star break on Sunday Night Baseball. That was it.
Edwin called out on strikes in the third, struck out swinging in the fifth. There's that foul. Slow breaking ball, and then Encarnacion got a piece of it to stay alive.
That was really a tough pitch to foul off, but he was able to just get a piece and stay alive for another pitch. That curveball was way away and down.
Edwin down on strikes for the third time tonight. 7 in the books. 2-0 Cleveland. Telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Indians lead at 2-0. Top half of the 8th inning. Corey Kluber going out. Right at 93 pitches now here. He will face Collins, Holiday, Navarro, the scheduled hitters.
63 and 93 for strikes for Corey Kluber. First ball swinging, Tyler Collins with a single into center field. His first hit of the night. Only the 4th for the Tigers.
The Indians continue the quest for their second straight Central Division title with games through Sunday this week. Out here at the ballpark, great tickets remain. Grab a $13 district ticket or a $15 KeyBank Kids ticket. Go to Indians.com.
Tyler Olson, left-hander, is up in the Indians bullpen. And the pitch low and away. Ball 1. Brian Holiday 0 for 2 on the night. A little bit low, 3-0. Uncharacteristic. Corey Kluber, strike throwing machine. Has not walked a batter tonight, but he's fallen behind Holiday 3-0 with Efrain Navarro, the DH, waiting on deck.
Yeah, his first 3-0 count of the night.
There's a strike. Navarro, left-handed hitter on deck. Then you've got the switch hitter Romine after him. Could this possibly be the end of the line for Kluber? The 3-1. Pop back out of play. And a full count.
Five full counts for Kluber tonight. Crowd starting to get into it.
24,654.
This is where you have a tough time starting your runner in this situation because Kluber is swinging this stuff, so you can get to strike him out, throw him out if you choose to do that. But boy, they've done nothing in the last couple of days. You got to try something.
Payout pitch, and it's hit in the air to left field. On the move is Austin Jackson. Makes the catch. Back to first is Tyler Collins, one down. Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Corey Kluber struck out a pair with a runner at third and only one out in the first inning. Struck out two more in the fourth. And another pair of Ks in the sixth, giving him 8 on the night. And 243 now on the season. Efrain Navarro 0 for 2. And struck out Flido. And he takes a fastball strike. Line to second, caught by Ramirez. Double play ends the inning. 8 goose eggs for Corey Kluber. And another wonderful display of pitching and defense.
Night Friday, the Indians are going to host the Kansas City Royals. Great seats remain. Grab a $13 district ticket presented by Sports Time Ohio or a $15 KeyBank Kids ticket online only. Visit Indians.com.
For the Detroit Tigers, Daniel Stump is the new pitcher. He is the fourth pitcher of the night for the Tigers. And three out of the four have all been left-handed. Carlos Santana helped to extend the Indians' lead in the sixth inning when he led off with a double, and then he sprinted home on a wild pitch. Fastball strike right at the bottom of the zone.
As the count went into Santana's favor, they moved Kinsler over to the left side of the infield.
And Carlos Santana draws a leadoff walk. Recapping the storylines brought to you by Mazda. Indians going for an American League record-tying 20th consecutive win here tonight. And Corey Kluber in his last 20 starts has been incredible, and tonight he was more of the same.
No, I don't see anybody up in the Indians bullpen either.
Jay Bruce lifts one high in the air to shallow left. Presley comes in to make the catch. 1 out. And that'll bring up Giovanni Urshela for his first at bat tonight.
Number 39, Giovanni Urshela.
Single through the left side of the infield.
Broke his bat, but it gets through. They will move that runner into scoring position now and an opportunity to add on.
That's either the third or the fourth hit that has been perfectly placed between third and short by the Indians.
Yeah, I know that Diaz, the guy he's hitting for, did it in his first at bat. So Allen's going to get an opportunity. Came in to pinch run after Mejia was walked, who was pinch hitting for Geyer. Went into play center field defensively.
Greg Allen takes over the inside corner for a called strike.
Allen 3 for 5 this year from this side of the plate, from the right side of the plate.
And a ground ball and a great diving stop by Kinsler. They go to second to get the force on Urshela for out number 2.
Really good play by Ian Kinsler. Boy, that saved a run. He got an out. They couldn't turn the double play, but It certainly saved a run right there. Kinsler, a nice job defensively. I thought that ball was targeted to right field. And the way Allen gets down the line, forget about it. You see the fake by Romine and tried to get Santana to round. That didn't work, but it's first and third, and it saved a run.
Well, and Yan Gomes is going to get another opportunity to keep his 7-game hitting streak alive. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He had a chance with the bases loaded and 1 out in the second, but went down swinging. Looking for a 2-out hit here to increase that lead.
Yeah, Stump is looking for a free out, trying to get out of this inning without making a pitch.
The pitch. Gomes takes a strike. Now, you pointed out there's no action in the Indians bullpen. Corey Kluber at 102 pitches. You know, he's a guy that regularly, Rick, can.
This is nothing. I'll tell you what, when you look at him, he's only made 41 pitches from the 5th inning on. He made 10 in the 5th, 12 in the 6th, 10 in the 7th, and 9 in the 8th. So he's rolling.
In tight.
Keep an eye open. The last time he was on third base, he scored on a wild pitch.
Missed outside, 2-1. Indians scored in the bottom of the first on a leadoff home run by Frankie Lindor, his 30th of the year. The only other run came in the 6th when Carlos Santana led off with a double. He came home on the wild pitch that Arch was talking about. 2-1. High pop up on the infield. Kinsler backpedaling and makes the catch. 2 more stranded for the Indians. We'll go to the 9th. Corey Kluber looking to go the distance tonight in Cleveland.
The track, 3 outs away from their 20th straight win that would tie the all-time American League record with the A's. Don't forget to join us for Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care after the game. Boy, Jensen, what a night.
It is. And Matty, Rick, we'll send it back to you. Closing arguments beginning for Corey Kluber in this Cy Young race, isn't it?
No doubt about it. He's made a very strong case to everybody across the country watching Major League Baseball. He's got to be in the conversation. There's no question about that. Now the question is his argument persuasive enough to convince everyone to vote for him? He'll go for the complete game victory here tonight, and a first pitch strike to Andrew Roma.
Well, he has 4 complete games on the year, 2 shutouts on the year. Well, he's looking to do it by himself. Close it out. Why not?
Now the 0-1. Pulled foul. He is 1 behind Irvin Santana in each of those 2 categories you just mentioned. And this crowd of better than 24,000. Many of them up on their feet from the first pitch on here in the night. The 0-2. A little high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, I think it was an easy decision for Tito because, as I said, he only had 41 pitches from the 5th inning on through the 8th. You know, so just averaging just a pitch over 10 per inning. So go ahead. He's been dealing. He earned the right.
Hit well, deep center. Back goes Greg Allen, and he makes the catch for out number 1. The play of the game brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet. And defensively, the Indians there to back up Corey Kluber tonight. Santana with a nice play. Lindor going up the middle, turning a double play. And then another. Ian Kinsler swings at the first pitch. A 1-hopper to Ramirez. Long throw off balance, and he got him. Wow. Jose Ramirez falling to the seat of his pants as his momentum carried him into right field. Got enough on that throw to nail Kinsler by a half a step.
Well, that's had a lot of spin to it. You see it almost checked up on him. But he realized as soon as I get it, I've got to get rid of it. He made a beautiful throw. Kinsler really running down the line, but another nice defensive play.
Two down. Alex Presley, the batter, takes the strike over the outside corner. Now the 0-1 offering. And a weak ground ball foul.
Lefty just 1 for 14 off Kluber tonight.
The Indians lead Major League Baseball with 18 shutouts. The closest teams to them in the American League are Minnesota and Houston, who are both second with 10. Now the 0-2. Line drive up the alley in right center field. And Presley's off to the races. He's around second. And he's going to hold right there with a 2-out double. Corey challenged him with a fastball. And Presley, who's had success against him in the past.
He had 4 hits against him in Detroit. This is his first tonight. He keeps it going. He brings a tying run to the plate, and he's going to face a tough hitter, Miguel Cabrera. Corey's been able to handle him so far tonight. Struck him out the first 2 times. Ground out to shortstop the last time up.
And a first pitch strike. Fans ready with their smartphones, hoping to capture A little piece of history. The 0-1 pitch is low and away. Seems kind of appropriate, doesn't it? It comes down to Miguel Cabrera. He's been a thorn in this team's side for years.
And has had great numbers against Kluber in his career.
Corey Kluber has authored another gem here tonight. Needing one more out. Slow chopper to third. Urshela will flip to first. It's in the bag, and the Indians have won their 20th consecutive game. They have tied Oakland for the American League record for the longest win streak. A mark that was set 15 years ago. And Corey Kluber authors the complete game shutout. His third shutout of the season. And he is now 16-4 this year as the Indians go to 89-56 and drop their magic number to clinch the division crown to just 5.
Boy, what a way to do it, huh? Back-to-back shutouts in the first 2 games of this series. And Kluber, I mean, you want to see toughness right there. Going into the 9th inning, they let him face their best hitter. Tying run at home plate. He gets the job done and handled it nicely.
Boy, that was just so fitting to have Kluber on the mound against Cabrera. Here it is. Everything's on the line right here in this situation, at least for the Indians. And Corey Kluber gets Cabrera to ground out to end the ball game, and the Indians win their 20th straight game. 29 out of 33 in the win column for the Indians as they just continue to steamroll their way toward another divisional championship. Kluber was amazing. He's now tied Irvin Santana for complete games. He's tied him for shutouts. He leads the league in ERA. He only gave up 5 hits tonight. He leads the league in opponents' batting average against. And is that, what does he get? 16 wins. Is that time for the league?
Yeah, him and Bauer.
Yeah,
so both him and Bauer and Sale.
Yeah,
16 wins.
He's put himself in position to potentially win another Cy Young Award with that great performance here tonight. He's downstairs now with Andre Knott.
Well, Corey, congratulations. What does this say about this team and this organization that you guys are able to win 20 games in a row?
You know, I mean, we keep saying it, but I think it's more a mindset than anything. Just coming to the field every day and trying to win that game. You know, we haven't gotten caught up in a winning streak or been worrying about that or anything. You know, it honestly is just every day is a new day starting over.
You guys now lead baseball in shutouts. What does that say for the pitching staff? And in this 20 straight wins, the starters are 18-0. What does that say about the work you guys have done and who you are?
Well, I think that we'd probably, every one of us would say that we didn't get off to a great start to the year as a rotation, but you know, luckily the bullpen picked us up quite a few times early on, and you know, it allowed us to kind of get in a groove. And you know, now that we've kind of found our rhythm a little bit, we're kind of just trying to keep it going and ride it out, and hopefully carry that momentum for a while.
There's an atmosphere like this. I would ask you about numbers, but you've told me the only thing that matters is winning. You guys are doing that, but an atmosphere like tonight kind of feels like October. How much do you think that'll help you guys a month or so from now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you know, we've had a lot of blowout wins throughout this stretch we've been on, but you know, I think tonight was probably more of a rarity with being a close, you know, hard-fought game. But I think that it's always good to win regardless whether it's a blowout or a win. But like you said, I think that, you know, these kind of games are important to find ways to scratch them out.
Now, in saying that, when we look at what you guys have been able to do and the history between you and Miguel Cabrera, what are the chances that in that situation you're facing him when he's a tying run with the success he's had against you in the past?
Yeah, go figure, right? I mean, that's kind of how baseball works. But yeah, I mean, just because a guy's had success against you in the past, you know, you don't back down from him. You still try to go out there and execute pitches, and you know, like like you referred to, he's had my number more times than not. But luckily I was able to get that last one tonight.
We appreciate the time. Great job tonight, and see you in a couple more days.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Andre. Just to Corey's point, in the 20-game win streak, this is only the 6th time that the Indians have had a game that was decided by 2 runs or less. So 14 of the 20 have been, I won't say walk in the park, but 14 of the 20 have been pretty much
easy ball games. Not going in where the tying runs there, and they don't use the bullpen. Now we talk about the starting pitchers. Look at them now, 18 out of 20. They're 18 out of 20 with the wins. So they just continue. They take the pressure off the bullpen. And what a treat tonight when you think about it. Lindor leads off the game with a home run. That's basically all you'll need it. And another shutout, back-to-back shutouts. I don't know how many times they've done that this year. I'm thinking 4, where they've shut out teams back-to-back times. So nice win and a quick turnaround, because you know what? It's a noon game tomorrow.
That's right. Think about this as we say goodnight. Oh, we still have more to go. Well, I'm going to save it then. We'll be back with a final thought right after this.